Tell of their laughter, their struggles, their glory.
Tell of warlike Sparta.
Soft beds, rich food, and the temptations of the flesh. But the horde is at the walls.
Ever since the first caveman picked up a spear, the fate of kingdoms and empires has been shaped by those who mastered its use. Some have always been better at waging war than others. Spartans, a warrior race from ancient Greece, were probably the greatest military culture in history. Spartan boys were taken from their mothers at the age of 7 and participating into the Agage, a strict military academy where they spent their teenage years training for battle. The only break from training was actual fighting. Spartan elders relied on tough tactics to teach boys about survival of the strongest and the sneakiest. Spartan teens were given little food and encouraged to steal rations as long as they were not caught, ultimately separating the weak from the strong. Those who qualified joined the elite troop known as the hoplites. Each Spartan hoplite carried a long spear, a short sword, and a tiny round shield. Their primary technique was the phalanx, which required extremely disciplined and tied actions. This approach was famously used by 300 Spartan hoplites to defend the small pass of Thermopylae against 100,000 Persians over 3 days. According to Plutarch, Spartan mothers advised their sons on the eve of war, "Come back with your shield, or on top of it."
Vikings.
They are
The Norseman cometh, agreed over coastal Europe, announcing the close approach of a Viking raiding mission. Among Vikings, the Berserkers were a special breed of fighters famed for their brutality.
godless.
They developed immunity to pain and hunger by performing secret practices and employing chemicals to create a trance-like state, allowing them to charge into battle without armor. The sight of a berserker attack usually pushed enemies to drop their weapons and run. They fought strongly, breaking their shields and even killing their own warriors in the heat of combat. The term berserk is derived from their powerful action.
Knights Templar.
The Knights Templar were a unique and strange warrior order that formed as a religious group focused to defending people visiting Jerusalem. They grew into soldiers in the Crusades and established the world's first financial system, accepting donations from Europe and acting as guardians of pilgrims' goods. Templars were outstanding shock troops who charged at the enemy ahead of the main Crusader army and were trained to battle till death. Their white caps and Templar crosses represented martyrdom and loyalty to God. They lived in poverty, cutting links with family and avoiding wealth, but the order as a whole was extremely wealthy. Despite their religious reputation, they were not exempt from temptations.
Immortals.
Soft beds.
The Immortals, a 10,000-strong elite infantry force of the Persian Empire, were noted for their lavish dress and unshakable fighting skills. Herodotus termed them the Immortals because their ranks were constantly refilled, giving the impression of an endless force. They were scary, with their covering bronze and metal armor plates and 6-foot spears. Cities usually bent to their method. However, their legend came to an end when Alexander the Great beat them in the Battle of Gaugamela, resulting in the fall of the Persian Empire.
Samurai.
Samurai warriors were ancient Japan's knights, following the moral principles of Bushido, or the way of the warrior. They kept a high position and were the only ones able to carry swords, specifically katanas. They also employed the Yumi longbow and were strong in a variety of combat techniques. Samurai fought openly, sometimes in battles, and were strategic in battle, using both guerrilla tactics and field fighting. Their sense of honor was vital, and failure to perform their duties resulted in ceremonial suicide, seppuku. Their severe social hierarchy and political power contributed to their death during the Meiji Restoration in the 19th century. Their history influenced Japan, especially in World War II, when many soldiers committed seppuku to avoid dishonor. Thanks for watching this video. I hope I give you valuable information. Meet in another interesting video. Like, share, and subscribe the channel for watching more interesting videos.